Today is August the 29th, and it is in the year 2011. I thank you all for tuning in today to this video. The last video that I did was a little off the beaten path. Instead of going on to the Q alphabet, what I did, I wanted to break up that format and give you a bunch of words to increase your vocabulary, kind of jumping ahead a little bit and giving you tidbits of information of what we were going to be faced with in some of our ongoing lessons anyway as we progress forward. And so many people had responded with such real nice emails, and they really enjoyed kind of getting a little jump start here and there and kind of venturing off from just alphabet to alphabet. So I decided to do another video like that. And I notice now that YouTube allows me to go beyond 15 minutes. And they sent me an email, something to that effect, a while back. And I tried it with the last video, and sure enough, I was able to go 27 minutes, a little over 27 minutes. So I'm thankful for that extra time, for myself and for you also, because I'm able to I don't have to rush as much. I could sit back and relax and just enjoy it on a more even keel than trying to rush through just 15 minutes. I thank you all for the email and the emails that you've been sending, letting me know that you are interested and you are enjoying these lessons. So today I've been reading a medical journal. My sister once a year subscribes to Prevention magazine for me, and so I've been getting a bunch of words out of it. And I thought I'd share some of those words with you, and there'll be times that I'll stop and slow down and back up and go over some words. But you know, I like to know myself what I'm getting into when I venture into any kind of subject. So once in a while, I like for the teacher to put on display the benefit of what I'm learning. So once in a while, I do like to, like the last video, take a bunch of words and start writing them out and seeing just how much I'm going to prosper from learning the course that I'm endeavoring to learn. And when we speak of Gregg Shorthand, of course, what we are gaining out of Gregg Shorthand is not only an academic discipline, but something that is so much more quicker. You know, a lot of us, as we were growing up, we might have liked riding in a Volkswagen, but that was only until a friend came by and rode us in a vet. When we enjoyed that extra speed, the Volkswagen didn't look so good after all anymore to us like it used to. So anyway, that's kind of the way it was with me when it came to Gregg Shorthand. You know, when one word, for instance, in Gregg Shorthand, the word business, B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S. You see how long that took? Business, 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 business. I can write that word, what? B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S. Oh no, business, business, business. It just thrilled me when I started seeing how much more quicker Gregg Shorthand was. Gregg Shorthand, the word business in Gregg Shorthand is BS. And that's how that's a very brief form. It is true that you can write B-I-Z-N-E-S. You can write that B-I-Z-N-E-S. But the brief form for business is BS. The same way with morning. You can write M-O-R-N and then put your dot under it, I-N-G. M-O-R-N-I-N-G. But in Gregg Shorthand, when you look in your dictionary, your Gregg Shorthand dictionary, it's just M and a dot, M and a dot, M and a dot. So instead of writing out morning, M-O-R-N-I-N-G, all those alphabets, oh no, morning, 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 morning. It's just that quick. Just an M and an I-N-G. It's that quick. So I like to take a bunch of words once in a while and just kind of rip loose with it and try to get you excited by doing so, to let you see what you're going to gain in learning Gregg Shorthand. So let me give you a bunch of words here. Notion, lotion, commotion, ocean, uh, devotion, because, homemade. All these words is like it's as quick as you say it. Look at notion. Notion. Now, if you remember, draw some lines here. If you're, well, let's see, I'm kind of getting, my board's not that high. Okay, let's see. If you remember the little SH, that's SHCHJ, SHCHJ, but remember, under the O there, that could be SION, TION, or TIAL. It's TION here. Notion, NOTION. Lotion, LOTION. Commotion, the K can be for COM, com, MOTION. Look at ocean. OTION instead of OCEAN. Instead of that, we just write an O and then TION, ocean. While somebody is writing OCEAN, while someone is writing that word ocean out, we're just ocean, 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 or lotion, 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 lotion. And by the way, what you're seeing me do is an exercise to build up speed also. Whenever you learn a word in Gregg Shorthand, if you would like to get faster with that phrase, you can just keep writing it over and over and try to get real fast. Let's look at these two words here, okay? BACK, PAIN. Now, one way to pick up speed in Gregg Shorthand is to connect words. Look here, back pain, okay? Back pain, back pain, back pain. While I'm writing down all this, I'm just stroking it. B-A-K-P-A-N. B-A-K, back, P-A-N. B-A-K-P-A-N. So you see, even by connecting words, we gain speed. But strokes will always be quicker than alphabets. And if you recall too, and I'll tell you why I like to kind of refresh and go back over some of the stuff we've already learned. Years ago in mathematics, we had a fella that come along, and actually in Oklahoma they named a boulevard after him because he developed a technique of teaching mathematics, and even his books on eBay sell for more money, even today, than any other series of math books, and that's Saxon, S-A-X-O-N. One of the things he would do in teaching math, after he would progress so far along, he would always kind of go back and bring people's minds and memories back to things that they had already learned previously. If you recall, I've already covered words that start off with the word enter. How we just put a little N over the word, our little N, intervene. Look how quick that is. Suppose I had to write enter, I-N-T-E-R, vene. Or enter action, A-C-T-I-O-N. Where it's just interaction, 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 interaction. You can write it 4 or 5 times before writing it all out in alphabets. I know I got a little sloppy here, but so I like to just go over some things. I like to kind of recover some of the things we've been over and just keep bringing them back to your mind. If you remember, look at this word, transition, T-R-A-N-S, transition. Look at all those alphabets and all these alphabets of heaven are right. It says transition, 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 transition. I wrote out the word 5 times by the time I wrote out the word in alphabets, because when you put a T in Gregg Shorthand, disconnected, when you put that T disconnected from the rest of the word, I know we've already covered that, but I'm just giving you a little mind refresher. That's transition, S-I-T-I-O-N, S-I-T-I-O-N, S-I-T-I-O-N. And this is trans, trans, trans. So it's just, I just like to kind of keep showing the students that are interested that you've got a lot to gain in learning Gregg Shorthand. A lot to gain. You know, one of the quickest words to write in Gregg Shorthand is something. S-O-M-E-T-H-I-N-G. Okay? That's something. Watch this. Something. 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 I mean, you can write it 4 or 5 times. Something. Something. It's just so much more quicker. And S and an M and T-H-I-N-G. S-M. That is the word some. S-M is the word S-O-M-E. That's how we do it in shorthand. For the word some is just S-M. And thing is just T-H and the dot, I-N-G. Okay? Okay, now let me get on some more words here. And I just wanted to kind of bring your minds back to, so you don't have to go all the way back to some of those videos. If I give you a little, if I do a little backstroking on future videos to what we've covered in past videos sometimes, that keeps you from having to go back on some of the past videos. And it's like you're being taught over again, but in, you know, a very quickly, terse manner. Okay, let's look at some words. If you remember when I started off, number of words that end with T-I-O-N are very quick to write in shorthand. Let's look at the word. Look, let me just write some of them out in longhand just to compare. Ocean, lotion, notion, commotion, okay, now watch this. Ocean, lotion, notion, commotion. It was that quick. It was that quick. So, okay, I think some people might think that I'm kind of being a little too repetitive on that point, but to me, I just get excited to know that, and grieved also when I think of how all those years we had to go the long route. You know, I like to take shortcuts. Years ago, I purchased 23 acres of mountain property in Alabama. I don't have that now, but I built a new home at the time, and of course, I sold all that years ago. And I remember when selling that property, we had to climb that mountain with so many people because they wanted to see all 23 acres. And it started at the base of a road, and it was bluff property. Beautiful property with boulders as big as a Cadillac, poplar and cedar. It was real pretty. But I got so tired of climbing that mountain. I like to do the shortcut myself. If I have to travel somewhere, and if you can show me a shortcut, I'd rather do the shortcut. So if I have to take note of something, and if I have to, for instance, when it comes to writing any word, oh, instead of writing out the word morning, if I could just do that, just an M and a dot, that's going to suffice for me. I'd rather take the shortcut myself. And I think all of those who are interested would rather do the same. It just grieves me to know that our school curriculum makes us take the long route for years, all through high school and college. We have to do the long route, where if we could have learned Gregg Shorthand from the get-go and used it all the way through high school and college, how much more further ahead would we have been? You know, Donald Trump, and I know I'm digressing a little bit, watched some videos of Donald Trump being interviewed by Piers Morgan. here the other night, and he said that the people in China, they're laughing at us. They're calling us stupid. And you know, when I see some of our policies and some of the, even in our education field, the route we take in teaching certain things, and oh no, the Chinese, they're not going to adopt some of our practices. It seems like in a lot of ways they're much more smarter than us. They must have something going for them that they're taking over our businesses and stuff over here, buying up our land, and they're ahead of us financially. And Donald Trump said those people are really they're overcoming us financially and in the job market, in sales, and through manipulating the currency. And he said that he had had a meeting with some, and he does business with them. And he said they looked at him and laughed and said Americans are really stupid. And you know, I feel part of that stupidity of submitting to that stupidity when I think of how we've been blessed with a knowledge of doing something quicker and faster, but our school system says, no, we're going to make you go the long way around. We're going to make sure that you have to do it all laboriously, long, and and then to even take Gregg Shorthand out of most schools and colleges. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. So it just grieves me when I have to kind of say amen to what Donald Trump was saying. But anyway, it excites me even more so, and it causes me to appreciate Gregg Shorthand even more so when I see just the comparison between what we've been taught coming up through school. So those words that I've showed you, like notion, ocean, lotion, they're just so quick. And when I see that, it just excites me to want to continue. Okay, because the word because can be written two ways. You can write it B-K-O-S or B-K-U-Z, because. B-K-U-Z or B-K-O-S. You can write it two different ways, okay? Now, let me give you some more words. I'm so glad that I don't have to worry about the 15-minute ordeal anymore. I can just keep going on, and I can give you more per video because I've got more time now. And I can kind of digress and relax once in a while, talk to you about a few other things as we go on along, just like our school teachers actually used to tell us stories. Do you remember when they taught us that if you want to remember all the great lakes, you just write out the word Holmes, H-O-M-E-S. And that stands for Lake Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. So, you know, in mathematics also, there are quick learning aids like that. Those of you who've had trigonometry, well, I better not get off into that right now. But as you recall, they gave us sentences to memorize all 6 functions and formulas, for instance, of right trigonometry. Well, we're dealing with words, though, right now, and later on I hope to start dealing with math. But let's look at these two words. Everything. E-V-T-H-I-N-G. That's E-V-T-H-I-N-G. How about every time? Every time. E. I think this is kind of, I might have a marker here, it's kind of getting low. Okay. E-V-T-I-M. Now, if you recall, now we know from top to bottom, I'm giving you a little review, that's a B. But when you start from the bottom to the top, that can be T-I-M, D-A-M, it could be T-E-M, it could be T-O-M. So that's why, because this one stroke from bottom to top, whenever you have to do that, you look at the alphabets before it, and then that'll let you know what that stroke stands for. Like T-I-M, instead of Tim, that could be time. Every, E-V, time, T-I-M. Dam, D-A-M, that would be, you can use that in the word damage, D-A-M-J. That's how we do damage. Okay, T-E-M, that could be temporary. Temporary is T-E-M-P-R-R-E. T-O-M. Let's see, that we can use that word in tomorrow. So you see some strokes, and I've already told you this, but it's a little review. Some strokes can stand for a lot of different word beginnings. That same stroke from bottom to top can be tomorrow. T-O-M-O-R-O. It's a whole lot faster than T-O-M-O-R-R-O-W. Okay. I hope you don't mind the review. Okay. Let's look at the word resistance. Okay. Now I'm going to write the word resistance two different ways and show you how you're mostly going to see it in the dictionary. You're going to see it like this: R-S-S-T-A-N-S. Okay, that's R. And always that sis sound is like an S and an S. Okay? That sis is like an S and an S, or an S and an S, or an S and an S. You can put different slants on it when you're writing it. Here I wrote R, S, S. Like I said, we didn't put the E there, but you could. You could write R-E, S-S-T-A-N-S. R-E-S-S-T-A-N-S. You can put the E. But in Gregg Shorthand, in the dictionary, words that begin with an R-E a lot of times are just with an R. And you know what the word's going to be, even if you leave out the E, if you look at the other alphabets that you wrote to go along with it. So that's a quick way to write resistance, R-S-S-T-A-N-S. Okay, now where do we get the T-A-N? If you recall, now this is a P from the middle of two lines down. But if you start at the bottom and come up, this stroke here then can be D-A-N, such as in Daniel. This can be T-E-N, such as in attention. Let's see, D-A-N, T-E-N. It can also be D-E-N, such as in dentist, D-E-N-T-I-S-T. I know that's sloppy, but I'm way over here, and I know you're tired of hearing that. D-E-N-T-I-S-T. Okay, looks a little better. So here again, we've got a stroke that comes up halfway, not from mid-top to bottom, but from bottom to mid. And that can be D-A-N, T-E-N, and D-E-N, such as in dentist. Okay, I know I've already covered that with you, but it's just a little review. Okay, let's look at the word propensity. P-R-O-P-N, okay, S-I-T-E. Okay, P-R-O-P-N-S-I-T-E, propensity. Checkout, that's it. C-H-E-K-A-U. If you remember, A-U is out, and A-U is the word out. So checkout is C-H-E-K-A-U. Okay? C-H, I didn't spread it far enough apart. Well, it's kind of getting sloppy here. Midway, because it's S-H-C-H-J, so it's C-H-E-K-A-U. Well, once again, I brought it too close. Okay. C-H-E-K-A-U. There we go. Okay? C-H-E-K-A-U. Check that. Okay. You know, I really don't know how much more further beyond 30 minutes I can go. I'm 24 minutes now, a little over. So I'm going to start writing a little quicker. I might try to go a little over 30 minutes with this video, and if they let it go through, I'll know that they're actually giving me more than 30 minutes. So, and if the video doesn't load up, I'll just have to kind of splice into it a little bit. Okay, let's look at the word. Well, I've already covered the word transition. Transition. Trans, S-I-T-I-O-N. Okay, I think I've covered the word business, B-S. Investment, E-V-E-S-T-M-E-N-T. Okay, investment, N-V-E-S-T-M-E-N-T. A lot of words that end with M-E-N-T are going to just end with an M. such as department, apartment. That M-E-N-T is usually just going to be an M at the end of a word. Okay, give me some more words. Okay, let's see. Marriage, M-A-R-I-J. Hormones, H-O-R-M-O-N-S. Cosmetic, K-O-S-M-E-T-I-K. Okay, I'll run out of space real quickly here. Marriage, M-A-R-I-J. Hormones, H-O-R-M-O-N-S. Cosmetic, K-O-Z-R, that could be an S, K-O-Z-M-E-T-I-K, cosmetic. Now look at the word marriage there. The word marriage. If I had to write this out, M-A-R-R-I-A-G-E, but M-A-R-I-J. It's over with. It's over with. I didn't have to write all that. And you won't have to write it all either once you learn it. Okay, and like I said a while ago, now you can even take sentences if you want to practice building up speed. Have you ever been to California? Okay, now you can write it, have you ever been to California? Already covered that. And like a little X stands for a question mark. Have you ever, E-V-R, been, B-N, to, T-O, California is K-A. And now, have you ever been? If you remember, V is a have in Gregg Shorthand. That's how the word have, H-A-V-E, is simply a V. And that V is going to be from the top of the line to the bottom, like that. But if you remember, that's my brief form. I take a B and cross it over an H. And when I hear that part of a question, have you ever been? Well, now I can write it out like this in the tablet. Watch this. Have you, E-V-R-B-N. I can connect it all. Have you ever been? I can connect it all like that. But why do that when I can write like this? Have you ever been? Just two strokes. Instead of all these strokes, just when I write the word have with a V and cross it with a B, I have purpose. That's going to be my brief form for have you ever been. Okay. Now, let's look at some more words. Country, T-R-E. Now, and remember, just a K in front of a word can stand for C-O-N and C-O-M. Country. Providing, P-R-O-V-I-D-I-N-G. I shouldn't have came on this side of it. Let me do that over with. And country was K for C-O-N and then T-R-E. Now, folks, that's a lot quicker than C-O-U-N-T-R-Y. No, just T-R-E. That's it, country. T-R-E, K-T-R-E, 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 K-T-R-E. I could write country 4 or 5 times while somebody's doing that. And you will be able to, if not 8 or 10 times. Providing, P-R-O-V-I-D-I-N-G. I needed to keep the D on this side and not let it come up in here. Providing, P-R-O-V-I-D-I-N-G. Watch the word homemade. The word homemade is very quickly. Watch this. H-O-M-E, home, made, M-A-D-E. Now look at all those alphabets, folks. And if I go a little slower, I can make it neater. And when you're writing a paper in school, of course, you're going to want to go as slow as you can to have a legible penmanship. But homemade, that's it, homemade. H-O-M-A-D. H-O-M-A-D, homemade. Didn't have to write all that. Oh, I know I'm a mess and sound like a mess sometimes, but I just get excited. Not everybody's going to get excited over it, but I do. Okay, discovered. Now watch this. Let me write the word discover first. DS. Now any word that starts with DIS, we're going to get the sound with just simply a D and an S. And of course on the line it says from the bottom to the top, DS. Okay? Now discover. Let me write the whole word out this time. Discover is D-S-K-U-V-R. Okay? Now, how about discovered? That would be D-S-K-U-V-R-D. Notice how I curl the R. If you remember, words that end with R-D and words with end with L-D. Uh, so, uh, this here is an RD word. Now, it is true, I could have, on the word, this is discover, on discovered, I could have shot a D way over here. But you don't have to do that. All you have to do is curl the R around discovered. And then that lets you know that that word ends with a D, simply by putting a little curl on the end of that R. The same way with LD. Let me write the word field. F-I-E-L-D, and you'll see what I mean. Well, let's look at the word feel, like F-I-L-L. That'd just be F-I-L. Well, it kind of came up too close, but let's see. F-I-L, okay? That would be F-I-L. On the lines, F is halfway, F-I-L, okay? But now, suppose I wanted the word field. F-I-E-L-D. If I want that word feel, it's F-I-L-D. See, we don't have to put that E in it. We only going to use enough alphabets just to get the sound out. And a good example of how we do that in Gregg Shorthand is the word laugh. L-A-U-G-H. You know, when I look at some words that we have in our English language and how we spell them, I wonder if we never would have been taught that that word was laugh. How in the world could we get the sound of laugh out of that word? I mean, does U-G-H have the AF sound? But watch this. Suppose it was just L-A-F. That sounds more like laugh than this does. But yet, look at all these extra alphabets. Hey, I'm tempted to laugh at us Americans with the Chinese. Just like they told Donald Trump. He said, boy, these Americans are stupid. And brother, they're taking advantage of us financially. They've got the upper hand. Okay, so laugh is just L-A-F. If we tried to write L-A-U-G and then put in an H, well, there's no way you can get the word laugh out of that in shorthand. So, I don't know. There's some idiosyncrasies when it comes to our, let's look at the word enough. Watch this to give you another example. E-N-O-U-G-H. Now, let me ask you something. Does that actually represent the sound of enough? You know, U-G-H, that sounds like no to me. But watch this. In Gregg Shorthand, we write it E-N-U-F. Even in longhand, we use the alphabet, the English alphabet. E-N-U-F sounds like more enough, E-N-U-F enough, than this here. And look at all these extra alphabets. You know, sometimes I'm tempted to believe that foreign agents have infiltrated our school system, and they're just trying to make us go the long way around on everything. So, in Gregg Shorthand, it's E-N-U-F. That's it. That's enough. E-N-U-F, 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 E-N-U-F. Well, you could write it a bunch of times, E-N-O-U-G-H. And once again, when I think of all the extra alphabets we're given, enough, okay. Well, no, wait, I didn't say enough. I meant the word enough, okay. Let's see, homemade, discovered. Let's look at the word season. S-E-A-S-O-N. Now, this is a very quick one. Watch this. S-E-S-N, 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 S-E-S-N. Season, S-E gives you the C sound. And sun, the word sun, the word sin, the word sun, S-U-N, all these three in Gregg Shorthand is just an S-N, okay? Just an S-N. I know now you can get the sound by S-U-N, but why put that extra U in there when we could just adopt the brief form of S-N for sun, sin, and sun? Okay, look at season here. We didn't need that A in there. Why did we put that A in there? Somebody just said, oh, let's throw an A in there. That's that much more to write. If we would have just wrote, even in our own alphabet, season, S-E-S-O-N, that would have, once again, it's like the more I examine it and the more I see it, it's like we've been given in our long form of the English language so many unnecessary alphabets to write to get out just a sound. I think I did back pain, B-A-K-P-A-N, B-A-K-P-A-N, B-A-K-P-A-N. Let me write that on a line. See, some words you could put together. You could put phrases of words together to quicken the time. Okay, back, B-A-K-P-A-N. You see, you'd come down a little bit, but you wouldn't come all the way to the bottom because the P, if you recall, is just halfway. Okay, back pain, B-A-K-P-A-N. Is that quick? Okay, let me give you a few more. I'd like to know I could go a whole hour, but I'm not sure that they're going to let me load up that much. But I'll know after this video if I can go over 30 minutes. Tomatoes. Tomatoes. Boy, look at that. Look how quick that is. Once again, if you recall, when you start at the bottom here and go all the way up to top, that could be D-A-M, like Adam, A-D-A-M, A-D-A-M. That could be T-O-M, and right here it's going to be T-O-M, T-O-M-A-T-O-S, tomatoes. That's T-O-M-A-T-O-S. But that's a whole lot quicker than writing out T-O-M-A-T-O-E-S. I mean, it's just the strokes of shorthand will just always be quicker. Tomatoes. I didn't have to do all that. I just gracefully. And once you learn it, it is a very graceful thing. And once you learn it really good, if you remember when you started off typing, it was pick and peck. But then once you learned it, you just see the word, and you, after a while, at first, for a while, you even had to think about each alphabet, where it was and where you was going to hit it as you gained speed. But once you learn it good, as soon as you see the word, your hands are on autopilot. They automatically know what to write. Well, that's the same way with Gregg Shorthand. A prescription, okay? A prescription, well, we can write it two different ways. We can write P-R-E-S-K-R-I-P-T-I-O-N. Or just per, if we pronounce it per, we don't have to do P-R-E. Remember, per is just a P-R. On the line, that would be just a P-R. And this would be S-K-R-I-P-T-I-O-N. Okay, but let me write that slower for you. Okay. P-R, that's a P and an R, per script. This is going to be S, here's your S, K, R, I, P, T-I-O-N. Prescription. Okay? Prescription. Okay. Now, let's look at the word establishment. Now, there's two ways to write the word establish. You can use all the alphabets in Gregg Shorthand or just a few. You can write establish, E-S-T-B-S-H. E-S-T-B-S-H. And if you want to put mint to it, just put an N. That's establishment. E-S-T-B-S-H-M-E-N-T. But if you want to write Establishment, like this, you can also put in an A. E-S-T, estab, A-B-L-I-S-H-M-E-N-T. Okay, I came a little too close here. Let me do that over. Okay, establishment, E-S-T-A, that's going to be establish, B-L-I-S-H, blish, mint. So that's writing out the whole word in a non-brief form. But once again, there's a brief form, E-S-T-B-S-H-M-E-N-T. Okay? E-S-T-B-S-H-M-E-N-T. Hopefully, we're going to do one video one day that's going to be all brief forms. And then that's really when we're going to be sailing along. And you can, if you'll make notes of those brief forms, they will give you the leading edge of speed over others who have not even developed their own brief forms yet. Okay, and once again, I covered this in an earlier lesson. Remember, you're the only one that's going to have to read back your notes. So if you're taking notes for a doctor all day long, and you have to write the word penicillin, P-E, penicillin, well, you can write that word in so many different ways. You can adopt a brief form by just doing P-N. And every time you see P-N, you have purposed that to be your brief form for penicillin. R-S-I-L-I-N. You can write S-I-L-I-N. Or you can write L-I-N and just purpose that to be your brief form. But if I had to write the word penicillin each day and I was doing transcription in the medical field, I think I'd look at the word just P-N. If I had to write down the word morphine instead of M-O-R-F-I-N, I could just do F-I-N or M-O-R, or I could just do M-F. I can put an M and cross it with an F, and if I purpose that in my mind, it'd be my brief form. So I'm just trying to show you how you as a transcriptionist, you've got the right. There's no set rules on which you will establish for your own brief forms. Now let me show you that word let me give you a good example of that. How about the word anti? Now you'll never probably ever have to write this word, but anti-disestablishmentarianism. Now let me write that all out in Gregg Shorthand. If you remember, any word that begins with anti, A-N-T-I, is N-T-I. N-T, remember this is T-H-N-T-N-D. Well, this is N-T-I. That unless you've got a different series of, and they are, excuse me just a moment here. Excuse me just a moment. I think I've got something on the stove that I have to cut off, and I should have cut it off for starting the video. Okay, folks, it smells good. I've got some fresh okra cooking, and it's cooked now. My neighbor lady gave me some, and oh, it's good. After this lesson, I'll put some salt and butter on it after I drain the liquid off of it. And of course, I know some of you are probably saying, this is so uncouth. Now, you broke the professionalism of this lesson by getting up and talking about food. I'm so sorry if that offends some of you. I'm so sorry. Okay. Let's see, where was I now? Oh, anti-disestablishmentarianism. Now let me show you how you can develop a brief form for that. Let's say, for instance, you actually had to write that every day. Okay, now you can write anti-establishmentarianism. That's the whole word, okay? Anti-dis, and this is going to be S-T-A, stablish, B-L, of course this should be L-I, okay, S-T-A-B-L-I-S-H, establishment, T-A-R-E-N-I-S-M, and I'm stretching across the board. I'd like to write it a little bit more neater, but okay, let's see. I can Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Okay, that looks a little bit better. That's how you'd write that whole word out. Folks, that's a lot of strokes there. So if I heard that word, anti-disestablishmentarianism, now there's two other ways you can do a brief form for that. Suppose you just write anti-nism. That's a whole lot quicker. Anti-nism. That's anti, N-T-I-N-I-S-M. Anti-nism. Now you can write it that way, or you can write simply this. You could purpose in your heart that every time you hear that word, anti-disestablishmentarianism, all you're going to do is write the word nism, nism, nism. Because you see, you're the only one that's got to read back your notes, and I've dropped my word list. Please bear with me just a moment. Okay. So you're the only one that's got to read back your notes. So, but what was good about learning the whole Gregg Shorthand alphabet is because you could write each word out fully that you learn new when you're first introduced to that word. You can write that word out using all the Gregg Shorthand alphabets to write it out. And then after you get real good with that word, then you can develop a brief form. Okay. Now, let's look at the word pounds, P-A-U-N-D-S. Sorry, I think my pen might be running out. Yeah, it's running out. Hold on, I've got another one here, and it should be ready to go. Pounds, you remember the P is right in the center of the two lines, P-A-U-N-D-S. That's P-A-U-N-D-S for pounds. Now, that is very quick when considering P-O-U-N-D-S. Okay? P-A-U-N-D-S, P-A-U-N-D-S, P-A-U-N-D-S. It's just that quick. I should have put that little mark right there. Okay. Pounds. Every which way we look at it, no matter what word you come across, you're always going to be able to write it quicker than anybody could type it, or anybody could write it out in longhand. Okay, the word sleep, I've already covered this the other day, but I want to make this point. If you notice, when I made the S, I made like a little fish hook right there. And that showed me that it separated itself from the next alphabet. If I would have went like this and not did that, you see, this might have looked like an O laid on its side, or it might have looked like an S or a Z and an L. But by making that there, that lets me know I have an S that goes into an L. Let me do it again. Okay, S-L-E-P, S-L-E-P, S-L-E-P. If you notice, each time there's a little, I hope you can see it. I hope you can see where I have like a little dent mark right there where one alphabet goes into another one. Okay, for instance, let's see, well, I can't think of a word right off where an M goes into an N. Okay, let's look at two words here real quickly. Social Security. Social Security. Look at all look at all this. If you had to take dictation and you had to write all that out, but watch this. Social Security. It's over with. Now you notice how small I made that? Can you imagine when you've got a pen in your hand and that only has to be, those words only have to be about 1/4 of an inch long with your strokes? You can do, oh, you can just do that so quick. It's just so much more quicker than what I show you on the board. But I'm going to make it larger so you can see it. Okay, let me put it on the line first. Social would be S-O-T-I-A-L, Social Security, S-E-K with an R under it. Don't you remember? And I'm going to make it even bigger than that so you can see it better. Okay, Social Security, S-O-T-I-A-L. That's S-O-T-I-A-L. And you remember that S-H can be S-I-O-N, T-I-O-N, T-I-A-L, or it could just be an S-H. It could be any of that. But S-O-T-I-A-L, social, instead of writing all this out, it's that much more quicker. S-O-T-I-A-L, security, S-E-K, and put a little R under it. Whenever we have a detached R under any alphabet, it's going to stand and represent R-I-T-Y. Okay? Let me give you one more example of that with an L instead of an R. If you have to write the word utility, U-T-I-L-I-T-Y. Okay, that's E-U-T, and just put an L under it. E-U-T, and just put an L under it. And L is going to stand for L-I-T-Y. See how there's so many shortcuts in Gregg Shorthand. I mean, there's so many shortcuts. Now, we're getting close to an hour, and I'm not going to try to push it over an hour, but I do hope to cover the words turn, T-U-R-N, and term, T-E-R-M. And I really have a problem with those two words, the way John Robert Gregg, the strokes that he came up with to try to get those sounds. For instance, turn, he's got is T-E-N. Well, I don't hear the sound of turn. Now, you could write it T-U-R-N. You can write T-U-R-N, but in your Gregg Shorthand dictionary, the word turn, T-U-R-N, he's got it as T-E-N. In other words, he's got it as T-E-N. Now, I just accept it because that's the rules. He's the one who came up with it. So that's the way he wanted to write the word turn. The word term, instead of T-E-N for turn, it is T-E-M. Well, to me, that looks like that would be the word team, T-E-M. But this stroke from bottom to top also can be T-E-M, such as in temporary, such as in the word temporary. So when it comes to term, he writes that as T-E-M, and turn is T-E-N. So terminology, that would be T-E-M, terminology. Okay, T-E-M-E-N, termin, O-L-O-I-L-O-G-J-E. Okay, folks, so there's a few idiosyncrasies with what he did and what he laid down as ground rules with some words. And for instance, you have to have a Y. Now, he said you didn't, and therefore he didn't have a Y. So the word yes in your Gregg Shorthand dictionary is simple ES. But I always, like I said, I showed y'all, I do a little pyramid over an alphabet to show me that yes. For the word Hawaii, that is a very hard word. One of the hardest words to write out in Gregg Shorthand actually is Hawaii. But so when I want to write out Hawaii, I just put Y and an E. Now, if I didn't adopt that as a Y, I wouldn't have a Y because Gregg Shorthand does not have a Y. The word yellow, Y-E-L-L-O-W. Gregg Shorthand writes it E-L-O. L-O. So I don't know why he didn't adopt a Y. So that is my amendment. That is my, I can't think of the word right now. When people, I know some of you out there probably have it right on your lips, in mind and heart. When you buy a book years later, it's revised. Okay, that's my revision. I did add a Y to some of this. And in closing out, let's look at the word Michael, the name Michael. M-I-C-H-A-E-L. You've seen how all those alphabets. Okay, watch this. Michael, Michael, Michael. That's one way to write it. Just an M-I that gives you my sound. And if you remember, when a K is detached underneath the last alphabet, it can stand for C-L-E and C-A-L. And let me give you one other phrase here you might want to practice. And I'll have to go more into it, I guess, on the next video. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $20,000. Okay. Now, judgment, if you wrote the word judgment on the lines, this is one time you go above the top line. You know a J is from top to bottom. But if you ever have the word judge, you come a little bit above the top line and come down. And that's going to be judge. I should have made it a little straighter. It's going to be judge, or if you want to write judgment, judgment. Okay? Now, it is true that you could, to write judge, you can use all the, but I'm trying to follow the dictionary so that when you compare what I'm teaching you with the dictionary later, you won't conclude that I'm showing you something that's not the case. So that's just the way Gregg Shorthand is in some instances. Now you can write judge, J-U-J. That gives me a judge sound more than just a J above the line there. Judgment, you can do that. But John, Robert, Gregg said no. When we come to the word judge, we're going to come a little above the line. I don't know why I keep slanting that a little bit there. I guess it's because I'm on a slant. We're going to come a little above the line, and we're just going to come on down and make a J. Yeah, it's too slanted there. But I think you got the message there. Judgment. Okay? Well, I'm so close. I'm 57 minutes, and I'd like to go over that judgment for the defendant and judgment for the plaintiff. I'd like to give you a number of phrases that court reporters use that really speed them along. But we'll get into it more later, and I thank you for tuning into the video. I thank you all for your kind remarks and the encouragement that you sent my way. And I feel like I've got a family out there wherein I have found some people wherein we all share a mutual interest. And I really thank the gentleman from Puerto Rico, the professional that had sent me an email. I really feel honored that I'm able to share something with you, the professional person that you are, and I really appreciate that you're going to share this. Like you said, you're going to teach it to your 9-year-old son, and so I hope a lot of people will pass this on to their children, and that'll give them the leading edge over a lot of children in their class. Well, I'm going to close out now, folks, and I think if I gain a little strength, I have to go do a little welding. Not welding, I have to go do some metal work, though, outside. But anyway, I thank you for tuning in, and hopefully just see me on the next video, okay? Thank you so much. Have a nice day.